I submitted a fun song in our songwriting retreat today. And, I was not what they would say is the narrator of this song. Meaning, even when I say I in the song, it is not really me, right? Or so I thought. In fact, it's a fun kind of quirky song about a lady opening up a window and telling a guy, hey, come here, kind of thing. And so I had to sit with what this song was really about. And it's about this lady that is tired of waiting. She's tired of waiting for something to happen. And so she's taking charge, she's being proactive, and she's being a bit courageous in creating her own reality, so to speak. And so as I sat with that, I had not really thought about that before. As I'm sitting with, who is this narrator and what is she about? And I need to do a much more deeper dive into her and this person she's talking to, this guy, that is on the sidewalk. But my big takeaway today was not about the feedback of the song. After the workshop was over, I took Max for a walk. And what really dawned on me was what I said about the narrator, about being tired of waiting, being proactive in life, having the courage to take a chance and just do it, right? And then I realized that the narrator and I have a lot in common, because I'm tired of waiting. I have led a very reactive life instead of a proactive life. And I think a lot of that is catching up to me right now. So even though, and I joked when I submitted the lyrics to the song, because so many people had such deep songs, and usually my songs are more emotionally driven. They're stories that have come from my life. The one about my mom, Wild Heart is about my longtime family dog kind of thing. They're very connected to me. And I realize that. But this song I totally thought was not, right? This is just a fun, quirky song. Someone gave me a prompt and I went off and wrote about it. But today when Mary Gaucher was asking me about, the narrator and where I wanted to go with the song, and thinking about the backstory and who are these people and where are they going? What, is this guy she goes out with? Is he a serial killer? That kind of thing. And then I walked after the retreat and took Max for walks. I really realized how much of me is in that story, in that narrator. And even though when I put together the lyrics, it'll be more than likely, it'll be in this lighthearted, fun, quirky way, there is that underlying message, right? In fact, I think the title of the song, when I submitted it, I said, I don't really have a title for the song, but I do believe it's Tired of Waiting. And sometimes in life, we are tired of waiting for the boss to promote us, tired of waiting for that raise, tired of waiting for Mr. Right to come along. In fact, that's what this song's about. Tired of waiting for the right opportunity, tired of waiting for permission to do X, Y, and Z. And we just are tired of waiting. And that can either drive us to give up, or it can propel us to do something about it. Like this young lady in my story, where she's going to take a chance. She's going to be a little courageous, go out of her comfort zone and be bold. So I think I'm at a point. In fact, I can't wait to deep dive more into the song and figure out these characters and have some fun with them. So my whole story is to get you to think that I talk about songwriting because it is so therapeutic, as you can tell. It's very therapeutic, and it really gets your creative juices flowing, and it helps you work through and think about things that you normally wouldn't think about. And so what I would like to challenge you to do. And I don't really want to challenge. I don't like using that word, but I'm going to use it because for some people it may be a challenge. But I'm putting this in the context of songwriting, and that may interest you, but for those that it doesn't, this is still valid. Because you've heard of things like morning pages, who Julia Cameron does the morning pages, where you 3 pages of free write. You know, there is just, what do they call it? Mind dumping, free flow writing, anything, whatever you want to call it. If you call 5 or 10 minutes of just not thinking, but just writing, and then maybe you pull a line or 2 out that stuck out to you, or maybe when you wake up, you have a thought in your mind and you want to explore that more through free writing, or just writing out, why did I think of that? Why did that pop in my head? And just writing, journaling about it. It is so therapeutic, and it helps you work through so many things. And I know I've touched on this before, but I just want to reiterate because I see it come up time and time again. And today was a perfect example of something that I know how this works, and I didn't even think of it because I was like, I am not the narrator in this story. Because that was part of our discussion yesterday, is sometimes we have to take ourselves out of when we say I in a song, like I was sitting on the park bench, then it may not really be me sitting on the park bench as a homeless person. I am speaking as the narrator. And so we have to separate ourselves in that context. But there's so many times when we think we are not the narrator, that there are bits and pieces, and that was the other word that came up today, is compilation, I believe is what she said, where there are bits and pieces of different people inside the one narrator. And so I just wanted to share that and leave you with that, because whether you are a songwriter, whether you intend to be a songwriter, or you just want to explore your creativity in a way just through even long stream, free-flowing journaling, it's such a great way to find out more about you. So I just wanted to share that. I know this is a little bit longer video, but if this was something that resonated with you, give me a thumbs up. Peace and love to you guys. Catch you on the flip side.